something funny? Better yet, this is more of an interesting fact. The biggest gap in the world is that between knowing and doing. So many people I coach on a one-on-one basis always tell me, yeah, Angel, I know this, I know that. But they're not getting the results that they want. See, it's one thing to know, but it's another thing to do. So many people develop this habit called analysis paralysis, where they're always willing to learn. They want to learn the next thing, the next strategy, the next skill. But the fact of the matter is, they're addicted to learning but allergic to execution. You see, information can drastically change your situation, but only through implementation. I guarantee you one thing. What you know right now is enough to move forward towards your goals and dreams than where you're currently at. Then we have people that claim to want to go slow or are taking their time and are just patient. But the fact of the matter is, patience should not be confused with lack of action. And activity shouldn't be confused with accomplishment. Listen, one of the most difficult things as a leader is to see someone who has so much potential, but they just keep on making excuses. They suffer from what you call excusitis. At the end of the day, my mentor told me, Angel, you could either make excuses or you could make results, but you can't make both. That day I stopped making excuses. The best time to execute on an idea is when it's fresh and when the excitement is high. If you keep waiting for the perfect time to execute, you'll be waiting forever. You can't wait for all the lights to turn green before you get in your car and drive. There's gonna be roadblocks and stop signs and yield signs and accidents on the road to success. So if you expect for all the stars to align before you take action, don't expect your desired results. That's where discipline comes in. Listen, talent isn't enough. You have to have discipline. Discipline is the answer to all your problems. It's like everybody wants a coach until a coach tells them what to do. So I'm always telling people, listen, you have to have discipline, but they always think it has to be about motivation. They ask me, what book should I read? When I recommend a book, then they don't read it. They ask me, what audios or videos should I watch? I give it to them, but they don't take action. Stop cheating yourself. When I first started boxing, my coach used to send me to run 4 or 5 miles a day at 4 or 5 in the morning. And he would ask me, Angel, did you run? Every morning, every day. I'd be like, yeah, coach, I ran. He told me, Angel, it'll show up when you get in that ring. See, if you cheat, you're only cheating yourself. And that's the exact same philosophy in business. It actually reminds me of a story. One day there was a small business owner who was struggling financially. He used to own a construction company. But when the recession hit, he was doing pretty bad. He had to let go of all his workers, and he just kept going to church over and over every single week, just praying and hoping that something will come about. It got so bad that he ended up moving into a shelter with his family. Now, he never stopped going to church, and one day there was another member of the congregation that noticed that he was struggling, and this was a very wealthy, successful businessman. Well, the businessman pulled him aside and said, hey, I actually have a project for you. I'm gonna build another home for myself, and I'm gonna write you a check for a couple $100,000 so you can buy all the materials, build the house, and once it's done, I'll pay you for your work. He said, here's the check, and here's the blueprint. The struggling man gratefully took it, thanked the man, and went home and got straight to work. But as he stared at that $200,000 check, he had an idea. He was like, man, I could probably hire a cheaper staff to help me build this house and get some cheaper materials. So as he went shopping, he went ahead and got the cheapest concrete and saved a couple $1,000s. Then he purchased the cheapest drywall and also saved another couple $1,000s. He was already paying his workers lower than average, so he was saving thousands of dollars there. Then he got a lower grade paint, so that way he can save more money. All in all, he ended up pocketing about $30,000 to $40,000 from cutting all those corners. Well, the time came after a couple months of building that it was time to turn in the keys to the wealthy businessman. He was so excited. He knew the man was one of the most generous donors at the church, so he didn't know what he was gonna get paid. So when the man got there, the house looked beautiful from the outside, just like he imagined from the blueprint. Then he took him on a tour of the house, and the man was astonished of the work that he's done in such a short period of time. He was so excited, not knowing that the house was built on a cheap foundation. As they exited the front door, the wealthy businessman turned to the small business owner, the one who built the house, and handed him over the keys. He said, "Congratulations, you just built your own home." The small business owner reluctantly accepted the keys, thinking had he known this was gonna be his payment for building this house, he wouldn't have cut so many corners. Moral of the story, always show up, take action, but never cheat yourself.